I'm going to go on record saying that I believe that human creation is a fundamental characteristic of humanness. And by that I don't mean that we were created, but that we are largely creative. Because I believe that we express our emotions and thoughts, which result from our appreciation of contrast and difference through the creation of arts and literature. I think that we tell stories and we write poems and we paint pictures because we understand that the world is not exactly as we always perceive it to be, but that it can be expressed differently. And we exhibit our understanding of that by telling things that are not true or writing things differently so that they express ideas and emotions that we don't necessarily see or experience every day. So I believe that human beings, whether it's simply a story you tell your child at bedtime, to painting masterpieces or designing buildings, I believe that all human beings are creative to some extent. I also believe that human beings are communal, social in nature, and that the survival of early hominids depended upon our ability to connect with each other and depend on each other. And so I think that these two traits have been innate within us for millennia. And so we have, through our technological development, always used these mediums to express our creativity and to connect and largely to share our creativity with one another. So when we began to tell stories around the campfire, when we began to write letters to other people, to mass producing books that could be sent around the world in multiple languages, to share our ideas and our creations with a large anonymous population, that we have been doing the same thing that we're doing now with Web 2.0 technology. And I think that this is the point that, or one of the points that Andrew Keen is missing in his book, The Cult of the Amateur, which I mentioned in my last video I was reading, and I've completed now, and I'm still digesting some of my thoughts from that. But I think that, someone who is not a professional, i.e. the amateur that he discusses, is still a creative person, and that we have always been expressing our creativity and sharing it with others, and that whether it is doing a skit on YouTube or recapping the news in a humorous or funny or intriguing manner, that this is creativity, and that this is a way by which we share it with one another. And I think that those are two fundamental human instincts. So, well, maybe not instincts, but characteristics. So I think that YouTube and blogging and things like this are not destructive forces within our modern culture, but merely just another means by which we create and share with one another. And I've come to this conclusion also through my viewing of Blog TV. As I said in my last video, I've been watching some Ustream and some Blog TV. I've watched a number of different shows now from a number of different broadcasters, because I was looking to see if there was a common thread, to see if there was a commonality in the content or in the kind of person who would feel comfortable with sharing aspects of their daily lives with hundreds or even thousands of anonymous viewers. Because for me, to be honest, it's somewhat unusual. I find that the idea of a live broadcast with people, because I've watched Philly D work on his show and eat a sandwich. I've watched Go Green 18 raise over $2,000 for charity. But for me, it's analogous to living in a glass house made out of one-way glass that allows the outside world to see in, but the people on the inside not to see out, to see who's looking or who's watching. And that evokes a sense of voyeurism that leaves me largely flummoxed. And so I'm trying to understand what it is that would compel somebody to do that. And I think that this is what it is. I think that it is we are creative, that Philly D's recapping of stories and adding his little touch to it is a creative expression, and that sharing it with others and connecting with other people is a fundamental human characteristic. And so we use this medium to do what we've always done when it comes to relating with each other, with sharing. And I think that that is, I think that is fundamental to who we are, and I believe that it is largely a good thing. I don't believe it's destroying our culture. So I'm I'm still largely devoid of responses or dialogues with other people. I'm still using this as a video journal or diary of my own YouTube experience, and I'm now answering my own questions. So if you I would be pleased if you've watched the video to this point to share your ideas. Do you think I'm missing the boat here? Do you think that human beings are not innately creative, or do not largely desire to connect and to share with other people, or do you think that I'm missing something here? So that's that's why I truly believe in human creation, because I think we're compelled to do it and we're compelled to share, and that's what we're doing here on YouTube and Blog TV and Blogspot and Twitter. We're connecting and we're sharing with one another. And so this is my effort in sharing my ideas, my creations with a large, oh, not large, with myself and a few other people who view it. So thank you, and see you next time.